All right. Everyone who's been trying to wait for us to join in, that was the most painful thing I have ever experienced in my life. I am sorry that took so long. I deeply apologize. So we are going to, we want to start inviting people. We want to start inviting people. Where are all my friends at, people? Yeah, so that's a thing. Invite folk. I'm gonna invite. Yeah, send out a link. Control C. Start getting that going. Yeah, I don't know. This is really painful. So hopefully this is relatively easy for. Hey, Zach Erickson of the Nintendo Dads. How convenient for you to be joining us. Zach, I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you, Zach? Are you muted? Do I have to accept you? There's a drop-down box. Can't hear you at all, Zach. Jesse, I can't hear you.
Well, I didn't say anything yet.
There we go. I
Can you hear me
Jesse
now?
Yeah. That's great.
How about now again?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you send out the link so that everyone can join?
What link would that be?
Yeah, I got it. I can send it out.
Is that through both Line and Twitter?
I will. Really want it through Twitter?
No, let's send it to Line. Let's send it to our nice Line folks.
But I'm gonna have to type this by hand. But yeah, I can do that.
Copy and paste
We
that.
do have a bunch of patrons who are not in the line chat. Is the thing.
Yeah, let's hit both.
Well,
let's start with let's start with our Patreon folk and then go from there. How's that sound?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I want to know how I share this better. This is
here I'll put.
We need to find like a tutorial on how to do this, like a step by step.
Yeah.
I don't have access to chat. There it is.
We have a chat box.
Well, right. I clicked it, but it didn't do anything. So that's the link.
Okay, Zach, can you put that in our line chat?
Or at least I put it in the Hangout.
You know what I realized I did, by the way?
What?
Is I accidentally linked it to you.
You linked it to me? What does that mean?
You'll see it when you check your line chat later.
Oh, I'm gonna hate you, aren't I?
I posted it into like our chat instead of into the page chat.
You're the best. You're the best.
Oh, the worst.
You are the worst. Is Line available on the desktop? Sure.
On Windows it is.
Windows it is. Windows it is, hey?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it available on the desktop. So someone's going to pop that sucker into our line chat.
So I was going to suggest maybe posting that into a Patreon message, so it sends it out to all.
Well, let's get in line first because we got a couple of people who are actually waiting to join, like Colin Harris is.
That's our Jack already did that.
It's already in our line chat?
Yeah, dude. Read by 4 people. You clearly were not one of them.
I feel like I have bad intranet access. We have 7 viewers right now.
Hot Doge.
7 viewers. If you want to join in, call in, or connect with us, that'd be grand. They can just connect, right? Like they can just click a link?
I think so, yeah. Can you guys hear the music? Is it going through the right mic?
I can hear music. I feel like this internet here is just the worst today.
Cool.
Let's see here, folks. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay, yeah, I see it now. Okay.
There's this guy that I subscribe to on YouTube. I swear this guy has, like, the music from every single possible game.
Oh, really?
Especially Nintendo stuff.
Hey! Randall's joining the call.
Hello!
So I actually I went in my line chat and emailed the link to my email and then opened it up on my desktop because I was like, I don't want to answer on my phone, so...
That's fair.
I was like... I had the event saved on my calendar. I'm like, oh, I'll go to this. I'm like, oh, it's just Justin talking to himself for a minute. Okay. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, we realized That was set up wrong.
Yeah,
The provided link only lets people view it but not join it.
Hey, Colin Harris is
Colin.
joining in. There he is.
Yo,
What's going on, Colin?
what's going on, guys? How are you?
The man who it's like 10:30 your time, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, we appreciate you staying up late for our technical issues.
Hey, no problem.
So what's going on over there?
Oh man, kids are in bed, and I'm just hanging out. Usually come down here and hang out with my stuff.
Yeah, just showing off your massive collection.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean this little thing behind me? Nothing much.
Oh, this?
Strategically placed cameras, what that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually my computer is here all the time, but I kind of shifted it over so I can get a little better view.
That's
for
great.
you guys.
So when you're talking there, I can see definitely NES. Like, how big is your NES collection? That's pretty stoked.
It's pretty. This is it. I have like 4 rows there and then 1 over there.
Wow.
So I think I have about 80 something.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, so I carried over from my childhood about like 25 to 30.
Oh wow.
And then slowly I just find them at yard sales and stuff. I don't really spend too much money to get them. I just kind of.
I wish I still had all the old games I had when I was a kid. I don't know what happened to them all.
I traded all mine in because I'm stupid.
I think that's a question. Well, that was a question I was asked last week, right? Like, what do you regret? And it's kind of like any of that now is a regret.
All of them.
Yeah. Yeah, Zach, I was saying I still have my Game Boy from when I was.
Dude, where's my box?
I saw you pull yours up. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got the wallet.
I got this like
Nice.
it's I've got this. I've got the color.
Oh, that's great.
What else I got in here? Just a bunch of games stuff.
And I've got them both in one device.
In this box, I have a bunch of Kid Icarus cards. These are from the
nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
cards.
I never played either of the games. Is the one on 3DS good? I heard like Star Fox, you have to kind of get used to controls, but otherwise
you
it's
gotta get
pretty
used
good.
to controls. But like Star Fox, once you get used to them, it kind of feels like the ideal control scheme for what you have available to you. So,
You guys want to see a really interesting thing?
No.
Hey, who thinks Star Fox Zero is just garbage of a game?
I
I
don't know. I can't say anything yet.
Zach?
Dude, no, I think it's awesome.
I was like giving you a hard time.
You
Apparently, Josh Thomas does.
Oh, Josh Thomas
Oh,
is.
I've seen that. I'm aware of his views on it.
I'm just gonna go out there, and I think he's just being a
jerk.
Being a Josh Thomas?
I think he does. I think he's doing it knowingly.
Yeah.
Is honestly what I think.
So Colin, in your collection there, is there any like one prized NES game that above all, like you either gotten like a sweet deal or you're super to have?
I think it's probably just, it's really not that exciting of an answer, but like my Super Mario Brothers 3, I just remember, I think I might have wrote this in the line chat or something one time, but I remember getting the call because I had placed a pre-order on it, and getting a phone call that I guess I answered it, and I was little, and they told me it was Toys R Us, and they were like, "We have your pre-order in. You can pick up Super Mario 3 whenever you're ready." And I just remember like screaming, running around the house. And my mom like never let me forget that. Yeah, she was like, "You were so excited, I couldn't even." So I still have the same one from when I was little. So I guess
That's
Nice.
yeah, it's kind of spent a lot of time with that one. So,
That's fantastic.
yeah.
So so obviously you've got the NES. Have you kind of collected every generation of handheld and home consoles since growing up, or has this kind of been like a retro collection, or?
I think I went through like a dark age once. I had a Sega Genesis. Like I never had a Super Nintendo. And I kind of went. Yeah, I kind of went from NES right to Sega, and
Do
then
you have any
PlayStation.
good like Sega, like any Genesis?
Oh man, I still I have like PGA Tour golf.
Nice.
That's like the only. I played so much of that. Me and my dad used to jam on that.
Do you have Moonwalker?
Moonwalk? No, no. Oh man,
I
I never
remember
had that
playing
one.
the NHL. What was it? NHL '94 and '95. I think those two specific.
Yeah.
I was like, I would have been like 9 and 10, I guess, when those came out.
Okay. Yeah,
But
that's.
I won't answer that.
I played the crap out of those.
Did any of you guys play that game, Sword of Vermilion?
Sword.
No.
Million.
Yeah. It was
You can
like.
see everyone's Googling it right now.
I know. Yeah, it was like. I mean, it kind of felt like Zelda in a way, but it was like kind of an RPG. I don't remember too much about it, but it was like my first experience in like an RPG. And I never hear anybody talk about it. And I don't know.
So, Nintendo, we need to Virtual Console that crap.
Yeah.
It was on the Sega though, right?
Yeah, it was Sega Genesis. I don't have any more information about it. It was just like you know what? I got like an emulator of it and it didn't work, so I couldn't even like revisit it and check it out. So.
Right.
But,
Is there any? It actually brings up a really good question. Is there any games that you really recall purchasing or playing as a kid that you're like, this is kind of weird, like now?
The fact that you played it, or like it was a bad game, or what?
Well, I mean, here's a great example. I remember owning and getting it. I think it was for Easter actually. Bible Adventures
What?
for the NES.
uh-huh.
So you could actually
That's
look up the game, but yeah, Bible Adventures is a Christian video game by Wisdom Tree, released in 1991 for the NES and ported to the Mega Drive Genesis in 1995. The game was unusual in that it was never sold in video game outlets. Like I think my mom actually
Because
went to
it wouldn't sell.
Is it like
No,
a mail order?
No, I think my mom actually went to like a local like Christian bookstore and they had like a video game. And by section, it was like just one video game.
Yeah.
And you were like one of the levels was like you were Noah, and you had to run around and collect 2 of each animal and bring them back to the ark.
And then what happened?
It was like spoiler alert.
I've seen you Twitch play this. It's pretty
Wow,
interesting.
spoiler alert, everyone dies.
And he only ended up getting one dodo.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
hilarious, man.
I also
Wait,
remember
so-
playing the Yonoid game.
Oh yeah, I used to play that.
Jesse,
Yeah.
I just imagined like there's a moment in the game where like you run around trying to find a male unicorn and you just can't find one and you have to leave with just the female unicorn.
Are you pulling out Yonoid there, Colin?
Yeah, hold up. Just behind the Splatoon girl.
What?
So I did a Google
Yeah,
search
buddy.
for Sword of Vermilion,
Yes.
and you can buy it on Amazon. You can buy the Genesis cart for like $6,
Oh wow.
or you can buy a PC download version for $3.
Oh,
really?
there
What?
we go. Yeah,
But
it's man.
It says it's only available in the United States. So sorry, Zach Justin.
That's okay. Yonoid was such a
Cool.
weird game because it was based on the mascot of like Domino's Pizza, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
But like the gameplay was actually really good.
Those
And
commercials
challenging.
are awesome. The Noid is like a stop motion claymation character.
Wow.
Yeah, they
I think
were cool.
that wasn't that Reggie Fils-Aimé was in charge of the Domino's marketing at that time.
Pizza Hut.
Really?
I think so.
He was Pizza Hut.
Oh, he was Pizza Hut.
But okay.
Oh wow.
I thought he was involved with the Noid, but maybe not.
What was the
Pretty
other
sure
one
he
like?
was Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Reggie Pizza
Oh, Reggie
You-
Pizza May.
Wow.
Uh,
He's never heard that one before. Yeah.
How did that man go from swinging pizza to swinging video games? Is my question.
No,
Maybe.
you could
They went-
argue that it's actually a pretty common demographic. Really.
Oh, probably.
Sure. He was making dough, and then he went to making a lot of dough.
oh,
Nice.
I'm just
Okay, he was
I'm
Pizza
sorry.
Hut, and it was the Bigfoot pizza is the thing that he came up with.
The Bigfoot. Oh, the Bigfoot pizza was great. That's fantastic.
Wow.
Randon, are you recording from Guantanamo Bay?
Why?
Because that setup looks so sketch, man. Like you've got like a cracked window,
Oh,
some paint peeling there.
Guantanamo.
it's an
Like,
old
I feel
house.
That's
I
sweet.
feel like someone's gonna arrest you.
That's better.
I'm just giving you a hard
Oh,
time. No, I'm just giving you.
Oh, Justin.
If anyone can ruin a party, it's Justin can ruin a party.
No, no
man.
worries.
Speaking about games growing up, I sadly don't have any games growing up because, like, my family was never, like, poor. Like, we always had, like, more than basic cable. We had, like, you know, we were pretty lower middle class, I would say. Like, you know, we had food on the table, and I got several video game systems, but, like, I can remember, like, only getting a few games a year. Like, we go to Costco and a new Pokemon would be out. I'm like, Mom, I want it. And they're like, okay. But I didn't have a certain number of games, and so how I'd get other games was I would trade in my other games. But sadly, that means I didn't get to keep them. So, and also like,
Yeah, totally. Eh?
Mhm.
so now like,
Yeah.
so now when I still have money, I'm like, oh, I can trade in games. I'm like, no, I should have kept them because I don't
Yeah.
get good.
Well,
good
we were
money.
kind of talking about. We were kind of talking about that in the last episode. Actually, is this kind of like how we all grew up playing games, right? Because typically, to your point, Rand, and even for me, it was you get maybe 1 or 2 games a year, maybe 3 if you're super lucky, right? You got one for your birthday, you got one for Christmas, and maybe like if you saved up your money, or maybe you got like a surprise. Like the mass consumption of games, and maybe it's just because of what the age was we were at, or maybe also where the industry was. It didn't seem as high as it is now. I was having a pretty good chat on Facebook with one of our fans, and they were kind of saying like we've gotten to a point now where it's gluttony consumption of video games, right? Like we're just finishing off Star Fox, and we're like, so what's next, right? Like what's next used to be, no, you play Star Fox for the next 6 months and you like it, and that's it, right? And then when something shows up, that's what you get. But I mean, we're consumed by
Play
Yeah,
Star Fox Guard.
I think part of that too may be our age as well, you know, where like we literally didn't have a choice. It was like, no, I'm not buying you another game. Whereas now we're in a place where we can buy another game, and so it's like, okay, like I got my time out of this. Whereas we didn't really have a choice to, you know, this is the game you have for a long time, and so that's kind of what the norm was too, right? So
I was gonna say also, like, with all this online interconnectivity of everybody playing, it's like there's this kind of push and this real pull to be a part of it, like when it's happening and it's new.
yeah, if
You
you
know, you
if you
wanna-
pick up Star Fox 6 months from now, are you gonna be as
Yeah.
excited about it? I
Yeah,
don't know.
nobody's talking about it. I mean, I listen to podcasts and stuff, and you know, I listen to you guys, and you guys are talking about the newest game that came out, and I want to play it like while you guys are playing it, so we can talk about it. And yeah, and then so it kind of just that cycle just keeps going.
Well, it's funny too because before we did the show, I didn't buy nearly as many games.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a-
like
it's a little
Yeah,
bit
you guys got-
of a necessary evil for us now.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're part of the system now. You're in.
Yeah.
Since I started doing my podcast, I feel like I've been buying less games
yeah,
because it's like I can't buy so many games and not talk about them. I need to talk about these games that I buy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I mean that's even interesting. Just the subculture there, right? Like I don't remember for me, you know, this is one of the things I kind of enjoy about this show and especially this community that we've grown over the last several years is just like there's a lot of people who want to have this conversation. And beforehand, like if you were a person who was like wanting video game news, I don't know about the rest of you, but I was like weekly or monthly subscribed to Nintendo Power. That was how I got my video game news. Is it came in a magazine? Mega Man 4 is coming out? That's new. I'd never heard of it, right? Because the internet wasn't really a thing that you would get information from. And, you know, you might get information from the kid across the street because he happened to be down at Toys R Us and they had a demo unit of the Super Nintendo with Super Mario World, and that's how you get that information, right? But now, I mean, we know about game developers, we know about voice actors, we know about, you know, whether a game is on schedule, delayed, the release windows, the perks that go with it. Like, you know, you've got YouTubers who are giving you hands-on impressions of games weeks before they're even released, right? Like,
Yeah.
we all came into Star Fox going, yeah, we've kind of heard that the controls are kind of shitty. Maybe, right? But we've heard a lot of Spectrum where before you were just like, you'd pick up the game and then you'd be like, oh, I got burnt.
That's
Right?
just
Whether
what
you
it
felt like
is.
you got burnt or not. But it's
Yeah.
that mass consumption of media. And again, I mean, I was saying this in the Facebook thing. You got to think video games, as an annual market, bring in more money than movies do nowadays, right? Which is massive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like, it's so interesting. Like, with this, and it's funny too because this whole thing, I don't know, this whole thing with Star Fox, it amazes me with the reviews. Like, having now played it, and admittedly, like, it was Star Fox 64 is probably one of the most important games of my childhood. So take that, right? But like, this game is seriously, it amazes me. Like that Polygon review, every time I think about it, I'm just like, that is infinitely more a reflection of Polygon and that author than it was about the game. You know?
Mhm.
And I know that NVC, if you listen to this week's NVC voice chat, they actually kind of called him out on it a bit.
But did they?
Yeah,
That was an
actually did.
episode that just launched, hey?
Yeah, they just
haven't-
it just went out on
yeah,
Friday,
yeah.
and they Jose mentioned, he's like, or Polygon not giving a review, and he's like, come on, Matt, and I think Pear was like, whoa, and he's like, no, I know, Matt, I can bust his balls a bit, but like, seriously.
Oh, it's true though. Like it's bogus.
The
Like,
unfortunate part-
if you're not going to post a review, like they posted a review and then we're basically just like, they were like, well, this isn't a review. It's like, no, it's a review. Like people are going to take this in place of your review. If you haven't played it enough to do it, then you just stay silent on it and say we're not reviewing it.
I think it's crazy though. It's like, I mean, look at the game. It's obviously fun. Like, there's no way it's not fun just because some of the controls are a little hard to
Does
get.
that guy have a history of Star Fox similar to mine? That is just we've never enjoyed it, or what? I don't know.
But
I don't
if
know
you're
what his
here's
history
the thing,
is.
is that this isn't a hobby website. This is freaking Polygon. This is
Well,
We lost Zach.
oh, Zach.
Polygon didn't like him, so they cut him out.
Yeah, they're like, cut that.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
The Illuminati is listening.
I'm not
So
gonna talk
you
to
were
Polygon.
saying, Colin?
What was I saying? Well, I was going to make an analogy. It's like if you have a like CNET or something, or like a website that reviews cars, and some minivan comes out, and they're like, I don't like minivans. I'm not going to review this. It's like there's a lot of people out there that want to drive a minivan,
Yeah.
and like you're not letting them know about it. But
Then I agree with Jack. If you're not going to review it, just shut up. Don't say, I'm not. I don't like this thing. I know I'm not going to like this thing. I'm not going to touch it because there's your review.
It's a robot.
Domo arigato, Zach-san.
Don't
you're pretty much in there, buddy.
Mr. Roboto.
And I think the unfortunate part about the Polygon is that more people are talking about the Polygon email or the post. The fact they didn't like all of a sudden people were like, oh, they didn't review it, so it was almost like link bait.
It totally was, dude.
And that's frustrating, right?
I don't know how much of mine like disappeared, but
All of it.
Oh,
And it's
what I was saying
it's going away right now.
I think he fell down a cliff or something. I don't know what happened.
What you said was.
I
Can
can't
you
wait
still
for
hear me?
Zach.
Can you hear me?
Barely.
Come
better.
on.
You're back. You're back.
I can't wait for you to listen to the republishing of the audio version of this show. It's great.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Oh, you're clean now, though.
I'm clean now.
Yeah.
This house is clean. Okay.
Maybe
I
because
just watched the remake of Poltergeist, by the way. Not good.
that explains
anyway.
everything.
Ooh.
So, yeah. So basically, what I was saying is like Jesse, you had said, does he have the history of with Star Fox that I do, right, or that you do, right? And my argument to that would be the difference is that you're not a professional journalist who is employed by Vox Media, and it's not your job to review video games. It is like he is a video game journalist by trade, and he just decided I don't like this game enough to play it enough to give it a review.
So
Yet I'm still going to give my opinion on a game
isn't that when you give
that
it
I
to
admittedly
someone
didn't
else?
play.
Isn't that what, shouldn't you then give it to someone else to review?
Yeah,
Exactly.
wait.
Like imagine if this was any other story that a journalist would do. It's like, well, I was assigned this particular story, but it was boring, so instead I decided to post that this thing that I didn't want to go to was boring. And this isn't an actual report on this. I'm just saying that it was boring, so I didn't go. Like, that's not what a journalist does. That's crappy journalism.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
I don't know what else you guys want to talk about because that was pretty good.
Good game journalism.
But I do think it all boils down to, and I think that this is sometimes, I kind of hark on this a lot on the show, but we've got ourselves stuck. And I think one of the reasons why I like old school gaming, I think, Colin, that's why I even very much appreciate your collection of NES games behind you, is in the simpler days of video games in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't about online functionality or co-op play, like, voice chat and all that kind of stuff. It was about just having fun with a game and figuring out your controls, right? And if they were garbage, they were garbage, but you figured them out. And I think, it boils back to the statement that was made earlier, is a game fun? Right? That's the question. Are you having fun with it? I'm having fun with Star Fox Guard and Star Fox Zero. So if someone says to me, should I buy it? Yeah, you should. It's a fun game. Controls take a little bit of time getting used to, just like other controls did for any other game, and you'll figure it out. Welcome to the call, Holden Moffat. What's going on, Holden?
Howdy.
Hey.
It's going all right.
Yeah, we can definitely hear you. Can you hear Zach coughing to mic?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Man. Yeah, I
Sorry.
had a little problem.
I might
getting
duck
on this
out
call.
again and get back on this computer. Sorry.
Yeah.
Holden, where are you at right now?
I'm hiding out in the basement at a birthday.
Oh,
At the moment. Yeah.
like a kid's birthday or like an adult's birthday?
There's a lot of kids here, but it's an adult birthday. So yeah.
Now, where
It's
are
on
you
my
located? They're having a birthday party at like 7:30 at night.
Oh.
On a
Like
Sunday.
town? Oh, just at their house. Like.
Nice.
Like you mean like what city or?
Yeah,
it's
what's
in Canada?
city you in?
Maybe Canadians do that. Lloydminster
That's fair.
right now. Yeah.
Lloydminster. Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Border city and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, not
it's
too
been a while
not too
been
far
on
off from
this call.
Zach.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, Edmonton. Yeah. I had to
Nice.
install like 5 different things, I guess, last minute.
Yeah, we're still working to try and figure out an easier way. We got Holden we've got Colin on the line. We've got Randon, Zach, myself, and Jesse. So what do you want to chat about there, Holden?
Oh, I only caught a bit of the Hangout so far. You were talking about Star Fox, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I guess I'll just say it's a great game, and yeah, I guess I'll just kind of fall in line and let the conversation continue, I suppose.
And then we're giving Polygon a hard time.
Yeah, we're giving Polygon a very hard time for their shameful
that
non-review.
Yeah, that review was the heart of professionalism.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. At least they did tank it in Metacritic at the very least. Not that that matters too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems like the Metacritic scores are coming out at like a 71. User scores are coming out at 79. So I don't think that's too bad actually. I don't think it's
Well, you know what though, like I think that anything if a game doesn't hit like the 80 mark, then if you hit the 80 mark on Metacritic, I think it's important for that to be like the long-term, ability of that game to sell.
Well, Justin, I think was it Justin or Zach? You guys were saying you were watching the Star Fox animated short.
Yep.
And you mentioned about how if the game looked like that just would have been incredible. And I had that same exact thought as I was watching it. I was like, man, if they made that art style into that game, it would have been like game changer. Pardon the pun. But I mean, it looks so good. I love that. That animated short was so awesome.
Yeah, I think that that is kind of that you look at it now and I even wonder if like the designers thought about that afterwards, like, oh, we probably should have just done that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Or gone like full like furry and done the puppets and like had that whole kind of like puppet world.
But I
Yeah.
wonder.
But I mean, it still looks great, but it needed that extra little like twist to it
little
that made
dash.
it unique, I think.
And that's the thing, like quintessentially Star Fox, its design is very simplistic, and it always has been throughout the entire years, right? Like the R-wing is basically a triangle, essentially, right, with some other triangle shooting out of it. The enemies are very simplistic that way. So, and I think that's a byproduct of what they were pushing and designing back in the '90s, that they've just maintained that the entire way through. So I mean, you could have still maintained that look, that very triangular, sharp look to it, with using that new art, with using the art style they use. I don't think there's any reason it couldn't have worked. And I think it would have given a different polish. Because I think a lot of things people were saying was like, hey, this really does look pretty close to Star Fox, either on the NES or 64. I can't remember which one. And I mean, I think the other thing is I mean, even some of those shots are shot for shots, right? Of the original Star Fox.
Yeah.
Zach, you're a Star Fox fan. Weigh in on that one.
I actually haven't. I haven't played the. I've never played Star Fox on Super Nintendo, but I played so much Star Fox 64. It's not even funny. So like even some of the. It's interesting because like having now played. I've played through the game once, and I've started unlocking some of the other missions and stuff like that. And even some of the like a lot of the levels and stuff. I'm like, oh sweet, like this planet is. It's the same planet, but it's a different kind of level, like Zonus, for example, which is the sort of polluted planet in this one. But like in Star Fox 64, it was totally different, right? But it was the same planet. So,
So I have a question about Zero, and I'm just looking for a yes or no answer to be non-spoilerish for those who want to figure it out for themselves. But as part of the anime, at the very end, we saw Pepper talking to Peppy about some secret mission that the rest of the team doesn't know about. Is it expanded on in the game, yes or no?
I
didn't think this required that much thought.
No, I'm thinking is there's. My answer is maybe, but not in a direct way. If that makes sense.
Right. So
they add, yeah.
So they probably will then have additional animes to flesh that out maybe later.
I would say,
if they didn't flesh it out in the game.
I have an idea of what they're talking about at the end of that anime, given what happens at the end of the game. But yeah. So I would say maybe it is, yeah.
All right. So what I'm saying, if it's not obviously fleshed out in the game, it'll probably be fleshed out somewhere else. Because they can't just leave that hang.
You know what? Though story has never been the backbone of Star Fox. It's just.
So if you're not going to try to do a story, then don't throw cliffhangers out there. I hope they flesh it out.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm really hoping is that they're going to announce I'm hoping they actually announce like a Star Fox animated series, right? That's either found on YouTube or I don't know if people even watch Saturday morning cartoons anymore or whatever, but it's easily accessible because I think it just helps to promote their brand. I think it's quite well done. Yeah.
Well, even if it's something that goes out in Japan first, just like like Ace Attorney I mentioned a few weeks ago, it's they can get it out in the West through Crunchyroll and other services. So with Ace Attorney, they've had 4 episodes so far, which covers cases 1 and 2 of the first game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up dubbing that show though, because from what I've seen, I mean, Ace Attorney is this thing that like Capcom didn't think was going to do very well in the West, but then it started to do well with each kind of title, and I feel like now it's built up a strong enough fan base where they can bring over stuff like that. Like I've said before, like on the show, like I've been reading some of the manga. Like there's still some of that in my local Barnes and Noble. It's some of the Ace Attorney manga, and so I think I'm really hoping it gets a dub because I'm wondering what they're going to sound like because they sound pretty interesting in the Japanese, and I can't remember. I haven't played Dual Destinies or any of the later ones. I'm on Ace Attorney 3, but do the later games have any more voice acting than the DS games, or is it kind of about the same?
See, I've played them all, and I don't remember. I think the 3DS ones might have more involved voice acting, maybe. But again, I don't remember.
So like, I'm not sure what like Phoenix Wright would sound like to me, or Maya, or all these characters. But I like what they're doing with the anime. I haven't seen episode 4 yet, but I just like how it transitions from this kind of 2D to 3D kind of setting.
And I don't know how many episodes are planned. I hope it's not just here's 10 to 13 episodes for game 1, and then we never see anything else. I hear like what the IGN guys, Nintendo Voice Chat, they just had someone who finished playing through the second game and loved it. And while I'd like to relive those stories again, I don't necessarily want to play the games again. But if they actually use the anime to go through at least the first trilogy, that'd be great.
Yeah, the anime is actually going through the first 2 games. I don't know if they plan on. I guess it just depends on the success of it if they plan to do more. It's not uncommon for some animes. I mean, not video game ones based on video games, but some animes like that people think are like the best anime, or that people really like, happen to only have like 13 or 26 episodes, where you have things like Naruto and Bleach and all these stuff that have over 200. But I'm hoping, that they this will be something that, because I've just within the last year and a half have been playing the games, and I enjoy playing them. At the same time, I think it'd be better for something like this, for someone that wants to get into the series and not have such a high barrier to entry. They have to play through each of these very lengthy games to get to Ace Attorney 6.
Because normally by the end of Ace Attorney games and Professor Layton games, I'm just sick of the actual gameplay and the court game and the puzzle games. I just want to finish the story. So I'm okay with just sitting there and letting the anime give everything to me.
Nice. I kind of want to touch on something that Rand had mentioned there. I kind of want to hold in and Colin, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, but he mentioned the idea of voice acting and voiceovers, and obviously we've heard rumor recently of potential Zelda voiceovers and being out of the series. What are your guys' thoughts to that? Maybe Colin, I'll go to you first. Do you want to hear Link or Zelda or anyone speak, or what are your thoughts?
I want to hear everybody else speak, but Link. I think him not having a voice is, it's core to that series, and also as a single-player game, and you're putting yourself into this character. As soon as you put a voice on him, it kind of takes you out of it in a way. I like that that internal dialogue that you have of him, and he can just sound how you think he should sound, excluding that one Philips CDI or whatever that was.
Excuse me, princess.
Or the exactly.
I want season 2 of that.
Kind of always stuck in my head, but
I think I have that entire 13 episode season in my digital video library.
Yeah, Holden, what are your thoughts on the topic?
I don't know. The thing is kind of what was being said is like you do kind of project your own personality onto Link anyway. Like for instance, Twilight Princess Link to me, like there's some subtleties there that I see that I'm thinking, like I just really appreciate, even though they weren't necessarily intended. And in terms of voice acting, I don't think I'm losing anything if there isn't any, because like for instance, let's say the Fishman in Wind Waker, I think that guy's still iconic and he doesn't say a word in terms of voice acting, like the guy you throw bait to. So I'm fine without it. And the thing is, if they screw it up, then it's just a black mark all said and done.
Yeah. The other thing is they in a very small way, they do have voice acting already. Like, you hear just little noises from people, and it's like they kind of hint at it. So it's not like completely devoid of any sound,
Almost like
from
Fire Emblem in that sense, hey?
Yeah, I think that works fine in Fire Emblem, personally.
yeah. But as a modern game, I don't know. Coming out in 2016, it's like it's going to get slammed if it doesn't have it. I feel like that would be the center of everybody's reviews. now.
Well, and I mean
I'm not. Yeah.
that's the interesting part, right? I mean, like we saw what it did to, and the challenge the challenge is not only the actual voice acting, right? So the actual association of whose voice you're now hearing, but the other challenge is actually the directing of the voice actor, right? Because how
Yeah.
they accentuate certain words, the script that has to be written for that voice actor to be able to deliver properly, to be able to put emphasis on certain words and not emphasis on the other ones, that really then actually turns back to the audio director, right, who's saying, no, I want you to say, aggressively or this.
Mm.
And I even kind of think back to Metroid Other M, right, where we all kind of, gameplay aside or what you thought of the game, we all kind of agreed that Samus came out really whiny, right? And that's not the Samus that we had all envisioned in our minds or worked with. But I mean, some of that's some of that's the actor or actress playing it, but a lot of it's the voice actor or the direction the voice actor is being provided and the script they're being provided, right?
Yeah.
So that speaks challenges, I think, as well.
Yeah, that's really a danger.
I'm thinking of I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's a danger, and it's like it's almost if you don't have the voice acting, it could stand the test of time a little bit better. I think you're going to go back and whatever dialogue they use, whatever slang they use, can feel dated.
Yeah, the last
at a
thing we
certain
need,
time.
the last thing we need is the treehouse throwing in memes into Zelda.
Yeah.
You know?
You know,
Oh God.
it's like I'm watching an old cartoon that I thought of several months ago, and I'm like, I want to watch these shows again. I haven't seen in 15 or 20 years. It was the Extreme Ghostbusters.
Nice.
Which was like a sequel to the real Ghostbusters. And so I got a hold of all 40 episodes, and I'm going through them, and there are so many little pop culture references sprinkled in that unless you're as old as I am, you won't. No one else will know that what they're talking about, because the show was a product of the mid to late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I'm playing through Link to the Past right now again, and that game has no voice acting whatsoever, yet its writing's actually kind of beautiful in a weird, odd way. Like, I think you all remember the fellow who's standing by that sign, right? Who's all quiet, and like there's all these little hints about who he is, all riddled throughout the world, and it's just brilliant, and I don't miss voices in any way. And I'm thinking of Xenoblade Chronicles X specifically, though, where if you have everyone talk, let's say in the new Zelda, but the protagonist doesn't, I found that a little odd, personally. Whereas in something like Witcher 3, because the protagonist was the speaker so often, I thought it worked, like where you center voice acting kind of outward rather than onto the player. I just find that, that's my take.
I can go either way on this issue. As long as if think of Portal and Half-Life, the other characters actively make fun of you, saying that you don't talk, you are mute, and that's fine if that's the universe you want to live in. But in the Zelda universes, Link is not a mute. He is a chatterbox. We just never see his side of the conversation. If you play Skyward Sword, you see his mouth gabbing a lot. You just don't know what he's saying. You have to kind of presume what he's saying, or what Link says is echoed in what everyone in the replies.
It's like Rocket Raccoon and Groot. It's like
exactly. That's exactly
I know
what
they're the only friends we ever had, but yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. So as long as they don't say Link is, doesn't say anything or he's mute, I'm okay either way for him to stay quiet, but no voice from our point of view, but we know he's talking, or to give him a voice. I'm okay either way.
I think I agree with Jesse where I very much think when a lot of these decisions comes, Nintendo's going to give me what I want, necessarily not what I need, or not what I
Or
want,
not
but
what you deserve.
what they need. You know,
What you
like
deserve.
they know what I want, like before I even know I want it. And so I
It's
think
true.
there's some things Nintendo makes mistakes, but I feel like Nintendo's really good at being like, oh, like we're gonna make this decision for you, and you're gonna like it. And we're like, oh, we don't like it at first, but like we grow to love it. I mean, the DS and the Wii, you know, we're kind of hard, not hard. We're hard sells for gamers like us, right? We're like, oh, this is kind of cool and innovative, but we're like, we don't want to play games like this. We want to play games traditionally. But like some of the greatest DS games, you know, really took advantage of it. But I think, as like we've said with Twilight Princess, like I've said in the show, it's just the lips are synced to the text, and so I feel like it's just a natural progression and something that just not because everyone in the gaming industry is doing it now. I mean, there's so many games that don't have voice acting still, especially indie games. But I feel like it's just if they want to kind of win back an audience and kind of have this be like a fresh new experience and have it just be this grand new adventure, then they need to do voice acting or have a pretty darn good reason for not having it.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point that you raised, Brandon. Is like when a review company, an IGN, a Polygon, whatever, when they review the game, they very rarely are they looking at it on its, as much as you want to say they're looking at it standing on its own accord. They always have to look at outside to left and right of what the other games in the industry are doing, right? What is Xbox doing? What is Sony doing? Right? Well, we see all of Sony and Microsoft's AAA titles have voice acting, and they have online play, and they have this and that. Then you measure it against Nintendo. Well, that's something that Nintendo in their DNA, you know, no pun intended there, they haven't been doing it. So is it fair? Like, you're not really comparing apples to apples. You're comparing apples to mango, right? Like, it's not even really in the same family sometimes. And I wonder if, you know, circling a little bit back to that whole Polygon thing, I wonder if that's part of the issue as well. Like, Nintendo almost, and I mean, not just because we're fans and I'm on a soapbox, but I almost sometimes wonder if, like, Nintendo just needs to be viewed or reviewed in almost a different skew than everyone else because they do things so differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
what I find with the whole voice acting thing, though, I find a lot of their games. People still there?
Yeah, we're still here.
Yep. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. There's a.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's lagging.
I find like with the Zelda games, like they've been being bashed for no voice acting for the last like going on 10 years now. I find they get a slap on the hand, but then they always get high marks anyway because you can't argue with the quality. So I'm fine with Nintendo just doing what it does.
Yeah. Kind of, I guess while we're kind of on the Zelda topic, I'd love to hear what you guys think of the, you know, speaking of the Zelda rumors of potentially being a female, being able to select a female as well to play as an option.
Sure.
Yeah, I like that. Yep.
That is equality. It's a non-issue. There you go.
Yeah. Holden, any thoughts on you?
That's fine.
I would be personally annoyed with the idea that Link as an avatar doesn't totally sit well with me, whether that is the intention or not. Like, you kind of project your own nonsense onto these characters over time. So I would prefer if they went with only female, in case I would say go for the voice acting then, or you do two kind of characters running parallel to each other in the same world at the same time. Whereas I find if you just kind of make it a Western RPG Avatar type thing, that would just kind of just kind of dilute it a little.
Have you played the Pokemon games, Holden? Like the more recent ones?
No, I've never touched a Pokemon game, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of how they deal with the male and female avatar in those games. Is like there's you, and then there's like your neighbor who kind of goes on a Pokemon journey at roughly, you know, at the same time, and they're like your rival in the more recent games. And so
that sounds great.
Yeah, if you choose the boy, then the girl is your rival, and if you choose the girl, then the boy is your rival, right?
Like, I would
like
love
that
a
idea.
Zelda story where they're almost like they are rivals, or like they're new. I'm blanking on that word. Nuisances to each other all throughout the story, and you're kind of wondering, well, who is the hero of time in this sense, and whoever it is, like, whereas the other option just seems to doesn't distinguish well, in my opinion. But of course, the one I'm going with is expensive.
I like that idea, but at the end, they've got to do something to where they work together. Otherwise, it's kind of meaningless to even go there.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's so close to there already, and like,
Because
I mean, you just see like so many women that I talk to, they like love Zelda games, and I think
I've noticed that.
I don't think there's really been that much of a disconnect there, even though Link is a man or a boy, depending on what game you're playing,
or both.
or both. That's right. Yeah, he's so just like, it's not like masculinity isn't his strongest quality.
No, that's
Yeah.
that's
It wouldn't be a far stretch.
very true.
So,
Do you lift, bro? Because I lift rupees, bro.
and pots,
Lift
man.
pots.
Pots.
I can see Link being a stoner.
And
Progressive Hyrule, man. I got mad magic, man. Got it from this jar.
Caught a fairy in it, bro.
Yeah. This tree talked to me, man. Had me go inside of it.
Nice. What about anything else, guys? Like as far as like even non-Nintendo stuff.
If you haven't watched it yet, I've been watching. I've been binging it like crazy. Game of Thrones, and I'm very much enjoying it. So
I have not watched a single episode.
Isn't like season
Yeah.
6 starting tonight? Am I right? Wrong?
I think so. Yeah. So I'm trying to get caught up in time for episode 2.
Okay. Apparently, we always choose
Yeah.
like big events for when we broadcast. Because last time it was the Sony Final Fantasy announcement. We're like, why is nobody here? Apparently, everyone's watching Sony.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You guys know I woke up from sleeping from my graveyard shift to be on this. So
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Nice.
Colin, what do you got for us?
I watched a movie called What We Do in the Shadows.
Hmm.
You guys ever seen that?
No.
I saw that. It's
You
great.
saw- Yes.
Yeah.
So it's if you've seen Flight of the Conchords, Jermaine Clement, he's one of the characters in this, and it's a mockumentary of vampires living together in a house and just how they go about their day, and it just kind of follows them, just what their lives. It's hilarious, and
Where'd you get it?
even Rhys Darby, that comedian, who's also on Flight of the Conchords, he shows
The
up,
manager.
and
Is that Murray?
the manager. Yep. Yeah, so he has a role in this.
Bad
I don't want to give it away, but it's
Oh,
spectacular. So my wife and I just watched that, and I was laughing the whole time. So I highly recommend.
Where'd you find that?
It was on HBO Go. That's where I
Okay.
saw it. I don't know if it's anywhere else.
sounds like an American thing. Is that
Oh,
American?
actually, what do you do in the
Oh.
shadows? Oh, it's not on it's not on the Netflix in the Great White North.
Oh no.
Canada,
There's
dude.
always the internet.
You know what my wife told me is on there now though? Is Princess Bride is on.
so
Oh, I
good.
saw that. Yes. So
Nice.
good.
It's like,
As you wish.
super
Holden, how about yourself? What do you got going on?
Just non-Nintendo stuff. Well, I just finished building a house with my brother. That's fun. And I've been watching Vikings. Anyone watch that show? Like it's kind of like Game of Thrones, but it's totally different. And yeah, that's what I've been up to. Just kind of the same old, same old. If I'm not playing Nintendo games, then I'm not doing much else really.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think I saw Vikings on Show Me, which is one of Canada's like Hulu services basically. It's a recommended to watch, yeah?
Oh yeah, I think it's great if you like kind of vaguely historically accurate shows. Very violent, very Game of Thrones in its own right, but
Nice.
just based on said subject matter.
Sweet.
Cool.
Jesse, how about yourself, buddy? What are you up to?
I'm sorry, I really haven't been paying attention the last 30
Yeah,
seconds.
thanks for tuning in there, buddy.
I've
An
been
hour. We asked you to be present for an hour.
Be like,
I've actually been reading the chat of the YouTube version of the live viewing of the Hangout.
Oh, really?
You know,
There's people.
there's one person there who was saying, I'm not a patron, but I'm watching, and is it okay if I'm watching? And can I
No,
join?
turn it off. I'm just kidding.
And so I told
burn the
him.
witch.
So I told him that I have no issue with him watching it, as
No.
we'll post this publicly soon anyway.
Yeah.
It's just you're not invited to join us because you're not a patron.
Yeah, is that Chris or is that Cal?
That is Castile, yes.
Yeah, that's Chris. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he was hitting me up on this. He was hitting us up on Twitter with the same questions too. I was like, no, it's fine. So,
I feel like Jesse was like, I wasn't really paying attention for the last 30 minutes. I'm like,
Okay,
yeah.
yes. So I'm sorry about that. What was the question?
what have you been watching or doing?
Because I'm still I still don't have my new mic arm yet, so I'm holding the mic with one hand, so I have to type with the other.
What?
When Jesse said he's literally
not for the other reasons why one might type with one hand.
Well played.
But we won't go there. Okay.
late.
So
I don't get it.
that's perfectly fine. I'm okay with you not getting it. When you're my age, you'll understand.
I don't even know what that means. Let's.
Yeah, what?
I'll explain it to you later. Anyway, so
So Jesse, what have you been doing?
I've been trying to do what Zach and I can't think of his name from Reactor Radio.
Don't go back to school. Don't go back.
Marty.
From Marty. I don't know how. I was going to ask you, Zach, how far you are in it, but they are tasking themselves to watch through the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe before Civil War.
Oh, me and Marty were gonna do a podcast. I had this wild hair that I was gonna do we were gonna do a retrospective in the 18 days before Civil War, and then I woke up.
And that was 4 days ago, and now you've got.
I woke up the next morning and was like, "Oh, that sounds like a lot of work." Never mind.
So I managed to watch Iron Man so far.
I watched Iron Man. I'm going to for sure watch the Captain America and Avengers movies beforehand.
Yeah, I wanted to watch Hulk, which was the second movie in my list of 10 or 12, but I hit the couch and passed out for 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
That one, the only thing that's really relevant is when Captain America was asleep, they tried to recreate Captain America and they accidentally made the Hulk instead.
Yeah,
and
the General's in it because he shows up in Civil War.
The General's in there, yeah.
I actually did this last summer or last year when Avengers 2 was coming out. Was trying to watch them all, and I think I got through all of them. So it's a fun experience.
This is like movie number 13 in this series. It's crazy.
I'm still going to try to get as far as I can. Hopefully, at least through Tier 1 before Civil War. But I'm at least unless what my work promised us follows through, I'm going to get advance tickets to see Civil War on the Wednesday, the 4th.
Whoa, on Wednesday.
So the Wednesday that we record, you're not going to be here because you're going to be watching Civil War?
No, we have a choice between a 4 o'clock showing or an 8 o'clock showing, and I said I want to watch at 4 o'clock so I can be here to record.
Oh, dude, but then you're going to be here and you're going to be like, oh, I already saw it. It was awesome.
I will, but I'm not going to. I'll try not to spoil anything. But my wife wants to watch 8 o'clock, so we're probably both going to see it, but not see it together.
Oh. I got my Spider-Man shirt to wear to the movie. It's,
nice.
Spider-Verse.
Zach, you're going to get your shirt in time?
It should be here by then, yeah. Check this out. This is the Giant Man.
Oh, nice.
Oh, dude. He's like, I don't know, pretty sweet. I got the set, and I got, it also came with an Ant-Man.
It's so tiny, you can't find it.
Yeah. No, I like when he's like, where is it? Like, we live at his house and put it somewhere else for him.
Guys, what'd you do with it?
It's over there.
Not there, it's over there.
Behind your shoulder.
There we go. So this is, oh, come on, his hand fell off. Piece of garbage. Anyway, okay. So this is like the actual minifigure that came out when the Ant-Man movie came out a while ago. This is here. I'll make him hold it. It also came with an actual like tiny version. I don't know if you can see
Oh
that.
yes.
Oh wow.
Got, like a
So-
little Ant
Yeah,
Man
little-
So
size.
can you have Giant Man hold Ant Man that's holding Small Ant Man?
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, there
Wait.
you go.
Wait. So
Do
so
it.
giant. What's Giant Man is something different than Ant Man?
Okay, so this is potential spoiler territory for Civil War, but I'm guessing that everybody kind of knows this already. So the guy who makes the guy who made the Ant-Man suit. Have you seen Ant-Man?
Yeah, I saw it on a plane ride home back from Ireland.
Okay, so has everybody seen Ant-Man? Like spoiler alert for Ant-Man, I guess.
No, I haven't seen it, but
I haven't seen it, but I
This is
wasn't
my
planning on
prediction.
anytime soon. So
Okay. So like at the end of Ant-Man, you know, he goes like super tiny.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm lost forever. I'm like small. Anyway, and then he gets out the growing one and puts it in his belt and makes himself grow back.
Mm-hmm.
My guess is like this belt right here is actually blue, whereas when he goes small in Ant-Man, it goes red. So my guess is that he's gonna just do the same thing in
Well,
Civil War and make himself
and
big.
also remember at the end of the movie he was making things ordinarily small bigger. Like,
Yeah, he had like those little like throwing star things that.
like
That's right.
the Ant and the Thomas the Train.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And so why the hell can't he do it to himself?
Yeah,
Well played, sir. Well played.
I don't know. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, my shirt should be here by then.
And in case people thinking we're talking out of our butts, that is comic, and was on when Ant-Man was on the Avengers cartoons, he could grow and shrink. So this isn't just some.
Oh yeah, it's
they're
all,
not just throwing this in for the movie for the sake of doing so. It's legitimate.
it's a big part of the history of the character for sure. He calls himself Giant Man instead of Ant-Man though when he's big, because
Nice.
being big and being called Ant-Man would be
Yes.
stupid.
Giant-Man.
oh, I like that.
Giant.
Bravo.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I never even made that connection. That's so sad. That is so sad.
Congratulations.
Uh,
Or you're welcome. Pick one.
Does anybody here play Blizzard games on PC?
It's been a long time.
oh.
You going into Overwatch?
I pre-ordered Overwatch today.
Yeah, I'm passing on that one.
Dude.
I haven't played a Blizzard game since like Warcraft 2, I guess. So long time.
I watched my dad play Dark Souls 3 today.
That's a pretty cool dad.
Yeah, he's
So is he a gamer dad, or is he a dad trying to game and just failed miserably?
he's a gamer dad.
Okay.
Yeah, he got me into video games, and he's 69 right now,
Wow.
and he just got an Xbox One, so he can play all the new stuff.
Go, Grandpa.
So he's he's rocking it, man.
That's awesome.
Pop.
Justin, did I tell you this Saturday at the expo, my dad messaged me, and it's like my dad and my brother are coming up from Raymond, or from Lethbridge, I guess. Anyway, down there.
Sure.
And I'm meeting them there too. And my dad was like, "Oh, by the way, I booked a photo op with Stan Lee, but
Wow.
it's at 7:10 p.m."
Oh,
I'm like, oh. Like, I know that, so, like, we're going to be there for literally 9 hours, and I'm taking my 5-year-old son with us. So, like,
He is
packed
going to
it-
want to crawl
yes,
into a corner
packed
and
the charger.
die at some point.
Yeah, so like, they've got, like, the kids zone stuff, so we'll
Yeah.
do all sorts of stuff. It'll be fine. But
all that stuff with Charles Martineau's pretty early in the morning, eh? He's got an
It's
autograph
true.
session at 10, does a panel at 11.
is there a
and-
panel at 11? I must have missed that.
Yeah, and then it's our photograph, or our photo shoot with him is at 2:45.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zach and I are going to go hang out with Charles Martineau this weekend.
Charles Martinet.
Charles Martinet, thank you. Everyone's like, Martineau, what the hell? So we're going to see if we can try and get him to do like some audio file captures, So
That'd be
we'll see.
rad. Dude.
Oh, that'd be so
I'm-
sweet.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
he's pretty
because-
good for that, too, because, like,
because
people who've been at, like, E3 and stuff have gotten it.
Of course,
so.
everyone knows him for his voice work of Runner 2, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for from the guy who does Mario. Could you just do a Runner 2 voice for us?
Yeah.
It's like,
Charles
listen,
Martineau on
if
narrate.
you could just give us a Waluigi voice saying Nintendo Dads, then that's all we need.
Yeah.
Wah.
Love that Waluigi.
Mhm.
The
Actually,
cheap-
Tingle.
It's funny.
GG
It's so funny
Luigi.
if you look at his like actual list here of who he voices. It's really. I was reading them off to my wife, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute. Why am?" It's like he voices Mario, Baby Mario, Paper Mario, Luigi, Baby Luigi, Paper Luigi, Wario, Baby Wario. Well, it's just like, oh my gosh!
No.
Like, could you do it in Baby Luigi, please?
Paper Baby Luigi.
Yeah, seriously. Toadsworth. Who's Toadsworth? Is he the?
The old Toad, like
Chardsworth.
he's like the assistant to the Peach, kind of.
Okay, the like. Oh yeah, the mustachioed one, the
Yeah.
Monopoly Man Mario.
Nice. Oh,
Jeez.
Well, anything else, fellas, before we peace out here?
Oh man.
Last
Well, I just
request.
want to thank you guys for hosting this.
Yeah.
It was awesome to get to talk to you, not in text form.
yeah, no.
So
Yeah, thanks for jumping in. We're hopefully, we're obviously going to do this every single month. We're going to try and get a little bit more proficient where we actually send out the public link as opposed to the private link that took. But if you enjoy watching me talk to myf for a minute, you can do that. That's a live thing.
did.
In other words, so we know what we're doing this time.
Yeah.
That is preserved for posterity forever.
But yeah, thanks for jumping.
Grandchildren will flounder.
Thanks for jumping in, and I know Colin, you're really active in our line chat as well, so we appreciate that. It's really awesome, and
Yeah, you guys are
thank
awesome.
you.
You're the
yeah,
We've got to
great.
connect. Go ahead.
What's that?
I said we've got to connect some time on some artwork as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my wife does appreciate that I'm on the line chat because then I don't talk to her all the time about Nintendo stuff. So, so there's that.
You're welcome. Tell her we said you're welcome.
Yeah.
Listen, hey, you know what? That is an advertisement in itself to like
Yes.
all listeners out there. Does your wife hate it when you talk about Nintendo? More Nintendo dads and join the line chat.
Yeah,
That might be next week's bumper.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
like it.
We'll just
Yeah.
clip that out.
Yeah, I'm sure my wife doesn't appreciate the Nintendo talk, but of course I don't necessarily appreciate her SCA talk. But so we deal with it. We deal with each other.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, I mean, mine watches a lot of Korean dramas, so there's
Korean dramas, dude.
there's a lot of K-drama talk
See,
going on.
Oh.
You should see what's over here. I can't move my camera to show you, but my wife came home with this. I don't know, 200-pound, maybe more. It was nasty to get down here, like an old 18th century loom
Well,
Really?
that we had to collapse down, and I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up breaking it trying to move it. But we had to break it down to get it down here, and it's still kind of in its flat form because we have nowhere to set it up. So somewhere she wants to set it up and kind of recondition it and get it working again, and so she can actually make something with this loom.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
it's over there just looming above you.
Ooh.
Ah,
Nice.
It's so stupid.
Even in the living room, there's like 8 smaller looms meant for like card weaving or inkle weaving. And,
Whoa. So
And so she made a joke today. We no longer have a living room. We have a looming room.
Oh.
oh,
living loom. So she does a lot of looming.
She does.
Does she knit as well, or is it just?
Just not really. She just does like tablet weaving and inkle weaving.
Oh, that's cool. Nice.
That's cool.
I'll have to look up what looming is specifically to get a better grasp on that.
isn't that like? So, what do you actually make then? Sorry, Jesse.
Well, like what she does
Go on, 30 seconds.
is I wish I can. By the time I go
You know what
upstairs and get it.
you should do, Jesse? After this, take a picture and put it in the line chat. Because everyone here is part of the line chat, so we'll figure it out then.
Yeah, I can do that. Think of
It's like Sleeping Beauty, like the little needle thing. I don't know.
It's like a giant
Um,
thing, and there's
That's
the
a
like
spinning wheel,
threads
never
that go
mind.
down it.
that converts the wool to the thread. The loom converts the thread to a fabric.
Okay.
I picture a giant textile machine.
Mhm.
That's pretty much, yeah. You're kind of along the right track. So like what my wife has done with the card weaving is we'll make these 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch strips of patterned fabric that she can use, just as is as a belt or a border like a neckline on an outfit. I'll take some pictures and put it in the chat.
Do it. Do it.
So now the people listening to this later will say, I have no idea what he's talking about.
Google it,
And,
people.
Google it.
And then patreon.com/Nintendo Dads.
There you go.
There it is.
I think we lost. Yeah, I think we lost Holden, but
Right
Yeah.
on.
He had to go back to his party.
that's fair.
Yeah, that is totally fair, dude.
All
All right, well, thanks again, guys.
Yeah, no worries. It's 11:30 your time, Colin. So you're probably getting some sleep. It's probably not bad.
Dude, I wake up at 5, so I've got I can get
Oh,
like
you
5.5 hours. So
Right on. We've got plenty of time.
yeah, that's what coffee is for.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great, thanks so much, guys.
No worries.
Yeah.
Thank you, Colin. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you next month, eh?
Sounds great.
See you. Bye.
Good night.
Hit
How
stop.
do I get out of here though?
I think there's a hang up button for you. I think there's a stop broadcast for us. Up by the top of your screen, there should be like a leave call. Okay, there we go. See you.
Bye bye.
Jesse, you're gone. Okay, I'll hit stop broadcast.